Molly-Mae Hague made social media headlines when she made a comment about everybody having the same 24 hours in a day to actually pursue their achievements. So before we get into this topic, let's have a look at the clip.
And I just think, like, you're given one life and it's down to you what you do with it. Like, you can literally go in any direction. And when I've spoken about that before in the past, I have been slammed a little bit with people saying, you know, like, it's easy for you to say that, you know, you've grown up and you've not grown up in poverty. You've not grown up, you know, with major money struggles. So for you to sit there and say that we all have the same 24 hours in a day, it's not correct. And I'm like, but technically what I'm saying is correct. We do. So I understand that obviously we all have different backgrounds and we're all raised in different ways and we do have different financial situations. But I think if you want something enough, you can achieve it. And it just depends to what lengths you want to go to get where you want to be in the future.
So guys, do you guys think that we all have the same 24 hours in a day?
No. Literally, no.
Expand.
That is because everyone has different things going on in their lives. Like, we don't always have, like, it may seem like we all got the same 24 hours, but some people might see it in a different perspective of they've got things going on to other people. Everyone's got something different going on in 24 hours.
We've got 24 hours, but they ain't the same.
They ain't the same.
I mean, someone's
nowhere
trying
near.
to
Someone could be sleeping for like 11 hours and then someone else is out doing another thing.
She is right in a way, in the sense that time is relevant, that we do have 24 hours of the same day, everyone. That's just standard facts.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
There's stuff in life, whether you're a mother, whether you studying full time, whether you're doing something, that you can't always pursue your dream. You can't always pursue what you're trying to do. So in regards of we do have the same 24 hours, but we don't have the same life. We don't have the same things going on in our life that impact it.
I think maybe she just worded it a bit wrong. I think she maybe meant it in a different way to what she was actually trying to say. But I think in the way of, like, we all have the same 24 hours, I do feel like some people have maybe more opportunities or in certain positions that leads them to get to where they are, whereas some people have to actually or come from backgrounds that are less privileged, that have to work harder for what they're getting.
I
feel
she spoke about her
people
not having privilege as well.
Platforms, and then they use the platforms to, like, aim higher.
Like a kickstart.
And Molly-Mae especially. Love Island boosted her.
Interpreted it and then come across the way she's like said. She said it in the wrong way, that people thinking, oh, like, we ain't all got the same 24 hours. You'll just misread it. If she would have said it in the, like...
Yeah, her delivery was a bit...
Yeah.
It was a bit mad.
But I feel like
sensitive,
she's
quite people backups.
She's quite a new quote unquote celebrity, as you would. So I feel like the sort of talking to the press isn't second nature to her yet. She isn't mindful around what the things she says. I notice, see if you notice with other celebrities, they're very mindful about what they say to the camera. They're very mindful about how they word things.
You get like press training. I personally think, on one side, yes, we all do have 24 hours.
That's the
yes,
fact. That's the fact.
You need to use, and you do need to use your time wisely. I am one for procrastination. Yeah, I have dreams and goals and stuff, and I know when I'm not putting enough into those dreams and goals, what I need to do. My best friend, she's also like a mentor to me, right? And she sat down. I've so many times I've tried to do a schedule, and she sat down and sent me this list and was like, "Boom, that's your daily schedule," because then you can actually utilize your time during the day wisely and get things done, and it will actually help you to progress in what you want to do. So yes, you should use your time wisely. So following the statement that you have seen with regards to Molly-Mae speaking about us having the same 24 hours when it comes to achieving your dreams, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Like, and also, like, what is your, like, wider opinion on it?
Yeah, because there's been people that's been in poverty that's become billionaires or millionaires, so I don't see why anyone else couldn't do it. Like, it's not to say it's not hard, but also if you want it, like, you'll do it, innit? That's what I say. Like if you want it, you go out and get it. If not, then obviously you're not gonna get it simple as.
People have come from, you know, growing up on a council estate and all of these things, or in the projects in the States, and now they're rich and famous because they did work their backside off. However, I do feel like she was very insensitive in the way that she said it, because as we've all discussed, she definitely had a boost. She went onto Love Island. She also came from a privileged background anyway,
which she said she did.
A lot of people were questioning, like, they were saying like some people were questioning. Like she went on Love Island, so she used like a platform to
build her
like reputation.
Yeah, so
she wasn't even my favourite Love Islander.
And they say, because she said about
She weren't even my favourite.
No, but can I say something as well though? Like at the same time, yeah, she was on Love Island, but there's so many people that's been on Love Island. And she's done pretty well for herself.
She has.
Like, a lot of people, there's a couple of people that's been on there had that head start as well,
but
haven't done as much with it at the same time.
You see
So
certain
kind of
Love Islanders that go on TV shows and they go on it for like.
Just
you come out of it like in the summer or winter, and you go on it for like you're on TV like 2 months later. You don't hear nothing from. They don't. Some of them don't do nothing.
And then suddenly they're presenting some ITV flipping game show, and you're like, what?
You've seen that Wes Nelson go on Love Island. He's now producing his own music. Certain people are producing their music and selling their.
They've gone
clothing
into
brands.
different.
It does take a lot to brand yourself.
Yeah.
Being an influencer alone is hard. You have to self-motivate yourself. You have to film your content. All of these different things that you have to do when you're stepping into even this new age celebrity of being an influencer. It's still hard work. So when she says she worked her backside off, although she did get a kickstart, and although all of these things I agree with on that side, that you know what, you came from a certain background and you don't have the kind of backgrounds that other people have. At the same time, you still have to work hard. You have to be present. Even being present alone and being a human being alone and looking after yourself alone, making sure that you stay sane alone is difficult in life. So
let alone
for her
doing
to
it for
actually precisely,
thousands of people.
but there are people that they might have come from not from privilege, but still use shows to boost themselves as well and have done big things.
Exactly.
Cardi B. Cardi B,
true.
me, I am an avid Love and Hip Hop watcher. Cardi B, yes, she came from New York. She's not no privileged girl or whatever like that. She's even now, though she's rich and famous, she's still thrifty. Do you know what I'm saying? And she did work her backside off, literally, to get to where she's going to. But she did use Love and Hip Hop as a platform. Once she did Love and Hip Hop, it propelled her into. She was working hard on her music and stuff. She also had her social media platform and had a following. But once she went into Love and Hip Hop, it then propelled her into more further into what she wanted to do and where she wanted to be. And instead of being ungrateful or whatever, because Love and Hip Hop is seasonal for each like state that they do, she then went for the next season to show people, look, this is where I was and this is where I am now, before she left the franchise, just for the gratitude kind of thing. But that propelled her. No, she didn't come from privilege, but she used Love and Hip Hop to get to where she wanted to get to as a platform to help her. Some people are on there just for clout. Do you know what I'm saying? But some people actually use it properly. I don't think there's a problem with using I don't think there's a problem with using a platform to propel you into the career that you want. So aside from like celebrities and their platforms, there are people out there also that just want to, I guess, just get a job, or they're trying to sort out their housing, or they're trying to pursue dreams in another career, or they want to go to university. Like, yes, like I said, we have to utilize those 24 hours, but what about those people that were born in a certain situation or don't come from privilege, or
even just time restraints. I mentioned a point a bit earlier ago about having a child. If you have a child, that takes up a majority of your time. That is a full-time job, as well as you trying to work and like look after this child. So I feel like the moment another person gets involved and you have this goal, it's always going to be tainted. There's always going to be something that gets in the way.
I agree.
It's not even just children, it's unemployment. If you're not employed and you can't find a job to actually get,
or it's
to
like,
afford to pay
your
for them.
24 hours are going to be you sat there starving, looking for your next meal.
Yeah.
And she wants to come across and say, oh, all our 24 hours are the same. No way.
We've got 24 hours, but they ain't the same.
No, they ain't the same at all.
What are you going to say?
People that like, there's some people that have to care for their families.
Even young people as well.
Yeah, so there's loads of young people that we don't know about that actually care for like their parents or like someone older than them. And they kind of don't have the same.
They don't have that.
Absolutely not. They don't have the free time. They don't have the childhood.
Care for their nan or something, and then by the time they've done that, they've got no time to maybe to themselves to do what they want to do.
I think for those
it's all taken up by doing that.
For those kind of circumstances, it's just unfortunate, and I wish that there were maybe more resources and things that they can rely on to actually get that respite, to actually do other things for themselves. Because what happens in those situations sometimes as well is that it can breed resentment. Even though you might love that person that you're looking after, it can breed resentment because you're like, right, I have to look after you, but really I want to be an actor, or really I want to go to university and be a doctor, or I want to go and study, I don't know, to be a teacher, whatever it is you want to do. Sometimes because you're being restrained, there's a restraint on that because you have to look after this person.
Like, I half believe, I understand what you're saying, and half I'm just thinking, no, shut up. But because like, I understand how we all have the same 24 hours, but not everyone is able to, you know, make the best of it, especially due to like the circumstances where they live, all of that. Do you know what I mean? So when she says stuff like, you can push yourself to do like the best you can. Yeah, we all can push ourselves to do the best we can, but like sometimes that's not enough. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just unlucky. I think her comment was ignorant because that's like the Queen saying, "Oh, I understand what it's like to be poor," when you don't. Like, she's never been poor a day in her life, so how does she know that? Do you see what I'm saying? So her trying to persuade, you know, working class and below that to you know, get up off their ass and do something, that's like, that's very not steady. I think when she says go to any length, I think I agree with it. I agree with parts of it, because going to any length, that can be anything. That could be like, going to find a job and building a career from that one job. Do you see what I'm saying? That could be going to any length for somebody.
When we're talking about the time, like if we were to break down the day of that person from the moment they wake up, where do they fit in them? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, where do they fit in them? So like I said, I stick by what I said. I always look at both sides. But where does that person have that time for them as a mother or as a carer or whatever they're doing? Where do they fit in that time where, right, as soon as I wake up, I've got to give this person their breakfast, I've got to do this, I've got to wash myself, they might even have to wash the person. Do you know what I'm saying? Where is the time where they get to sit down and actually focus on what they need to do?
And I think that's why the Molly-Mae thing is along the lines of inconsiderate, in the sense of she hasn't had a PR team, she hasn't had anyone sort of give her advice that might be hurtful to some people when you're coming across and saying it like that. She clearly hasn't had someone tell her that, and she clearly doesn't know. She clearly doesn't understand how the bottom level, lower line of people live.
Yeah,
because if you surround yourself with people who are successful and you are going to believe that we have the same 24 hours. If you don't interact with the everyday person.
Yeah.
But if she was around people like us, like people in our community, you should understand that 24 hours, they don't look the same. They don't run the same. We don't make the same money in the 24 hours. We don't.
Yeah.
I could work just as hard as you in my job and still get paid my £60 at the end of the day, whereas you could put in 2 hours into your job and get out £4,000.
It's true.
Our hours are not the same.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Our hours are not the same.
So guys, to conclude, we all do have 24 hours, but they are not the same 24 hours. Thank you so much for joining us on our podcast, and we look forward to seeing you guys again. Bye.